to everybody. On Monday, 7 November, President Ramaphosa will lead South Africa's delegation to Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, to attend the 27th Conference of Parties, COP27. The Minister in the Presidency, Mr. Mondli Gungubele, Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Dr. Naledi Pandor, and Minister of Forestry, Fisheries and Environment, Ms. Barbara Creasy, will support the President during the negotiations. The President's focus will be on securing maximum ambition in terms of climate action, the honoring of previous commitments, and the provision of enabling means of implementation support for developing countries, including South Africa. With COP27 taking place in Africa, it presents an opportunity to advance African priority issues, namely raising the ambitions on mitigation, adaptation, and support to developing countries, advance financing arrangements for loss and damage, build on progress made in Glasgow on the importance of just transitions, advance discussions on the special needs and circumstances of Africa. Following COP27, at the invitation of His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya, President Ramaphosa will undertake a state visit to Kenya on the 9th of November. The bilateral discussions will focus on multilateral, economic, regional, and continental issues. The visit will include a business forum focusing on trade and investment between Kenya and South Africa. According to the World Bank, Kenya is East Africa's largest economy and gateway to the region, with a GDP that stands at over 110 billion US dollars. As of 2021, Kenya is South Africa's largest trading partner outside of the SADC region, making South Africa the biggest seller of goods to Kenya on the continent. South Africa exported over 6 billion rands worth of goods to Kenya in 2021. As of April this year, exports to Kenya have been valued at over 2 billion rands. The state visit to Kenya offers both countries the opportunity to build on the momentum created by the November state visit last year by former President Kenyatta to strengthen and deepen bilateral relations and cooperation between South Africa and the new Kenyan administration. The President yesterday updated the country through his Q&A session at the National Assembly on energy. And just to add on that update, an important aspect and development, in his address to the nation on the 25th of July, President Ramaphosa announced a bold set of actions to address load shedding and achieve energy security. One of the key commitments the President made was the South African Police Service constituting a special law enforcement team to help Eskom confront crime and corruption. The National Joint Operational Intelligence Structure, known as NETJOINS, continues to coordinate the work of multiple agencies to address sabotage, theft, and fraud at Eskom. In this regard, 67 cases are on the court roll, and 3 have been finalized with a conviction. This is a significant step towards ridding Eskom of rogue elements that undermine one of the key tenets of achieving the country's energy security, which is the fixing of Eskom and improving the operational performance of existing power stations. There is an opportunity for members of the media and the public to track the implementation of SONA commitments, and in the interest of accountability and transparency, the Presidency would like to encourage members of the media and the public to track progress on the implementation of the SONA 2022 commitments by visiting the Presidency's SONA portal, which is www.stateofthenation.gov.za. At the last media briefing, we also shared a summary of achievements of the Ramaphosa-led administration. Today, we would like to focus on efforts to end state capture and corruption and these are the appointment of new leadership at the Hawks, which has restored the credibility and stability of the institution and led to action against corruption. Since 2018, the Hawks have secured 4,500 convictions for corruption and other priority crimes. The appointment of a new National Director of Public Prosecutions on the recommendations of an independent panel following a transparent public process. You will have noticed that there's been a great deal of stability at the NPA as compared to some previous years where there was this constant revolving door for a number of reasons. The establishment of the NPA Investigating Directorate to prosecute state capture and other significant corruption cases. The ID has, by August of this year, enrolled over 20 corruption cases and charged 65 accused. The appointment of the SAU Special Tribunal to expedite civil claims against corrupt individuals and the recovery of stolen funds. Since its establishment, it has recovered over 8.6 billion rands. The administration undertook measures to end corruption and politicization of the State Security Agency, including the appointment of new leadership and implementation of recommendations of a high-level panel on the SSA. Lastly, this administration amended the State Capture Commission regulations to enable the sharing of information and resources with the NPA on state capture cases. Several high-profile cases that are before the courts bear testament to the success of the enablement provided by the Ramaphosa administration to law enforcement agencies in support of their fight against corruption. So we'll continue just sharing these bits of achievements and successes because there seems to be a lot of debate at the moment or assertions around the president's performance. Just to address an issue that came up in one of the Sunday newspapers concerning the suspended DG of the Department of Public Enterprises. The presidency noted with concern a Sunday newspaper story accusing the DG in the presidency, Ms. Pindile Baleni, and the president's special advisor, Dr. Pejani Chauke, of a cover-up following a protected disclosure by the suspended DG of the Department of Public Enterprises, Mr. Tlakudi. The presidency rejects these false, unsubstantiated, and baseless claims. The so-called protected disclosure reached the presidency halfway through the disciplinary process against Mr. Tlakudi, who lost his labor court bid to have his suspension overturned. Lastly, before we open the floor for questions, we had addressed this issue, but it keeps on coming up and it keeps on being repeated, unfortunately, and the president did also address it mildly in Parliament yesterday. And this is an issue concerning a Mr. Hangwane Maumela in Gauteng. To the extent that Maumela is the son of the president's ex-brother-in-law, the president has no further knowledge of Maumela, nor has he ever had any relationship with him. Furthermore, the president does not have any knowledge of Mr. Maumela's business dealings, neither was he aware of his involvement with the Tembisa Hospital or any other state entity. The president expects law enforcement agencies to conduct their investigations without any fear of favor, regardless of who may be involved, and to arrest those who are or were party to malfeasance. In the exercise and fulfillment of his constitutional powers, the president remains duty-bound to always act in accordance to the Constitution and his oath of office. This it does without any fear of favor. SIU proclamations are never signed based on individuals involved. The Special Investigating Units and Special Tribunals Act number 74 of 1996 sets out guidelines in which the president may exercise his powers. The president considers every application by the SIU on its merits and he will certainly sign such a proclamation should the SIU, as it so often does, motivate for the need for such an investigation. There were suggestions that the SIU needs to expand its investigation in relation to this particular matter and gentleman. However, that request for a proclamation is yet to reach the President, and when it does, he will respond accordingly. I'm hoping we've addressed this issue because it keeps on coming up. So whether there's a new amount that is revealed that this gentleman has earned, or whether there are other revelations in terms of his business dealings, this position, colleagues, remains. I received questions after we had addressed this matter based on the fact that there were new revelations on the issue. It doesn't change the facts that I've just laid out in respect to the absence of any relationship whatsoever between the President and this gentleman. I'll end there for now and open the floor to questions. I'm mindful that it's a Friday. In Cape Town, weekends start early. So I won't hold you hostage here for too long. I also have a flight to catch.